Hey guys, it's Kayla here. Welcome back to Brave Designs. Okay, so I have been going through all of my old fabric and just trying to really be resourceful and mindful of what I have to make sure that I'm not being wasteful. I had 3 pieces of this size fabric, a little over a foot by probably half a foot, maybe a little less. And what you want to do in this situation is think, okay, first of all, be smart when you're cutting fabric. Make sure that you cut it smart. You're not wasting the fabric. You're not just cutting in the middle and leaving all this random edging that you can't utilize. What happened with this is that I had decent sized pieces that I had cut and was able to figure out how I could use them in a bralette. So what I did was I took the pattern of one of my favorite bralettes. It's a simple bust pattern is what I cut out thus far. Then based on the pieces that I have pieces like this, which I would probably use as the band. And then I have this larger piece left over that I'm probably going to try and use as straps. It's been quite a journey. First, I cut out pieces. And what you really want to do is label them, and I did. I labeled the pieces so that I knew where they would go. But what I did was I reversed. This is supposed to be on the inside, this is supposed to be on the outside. I did the reverse, and I'm looking at it, and like I had already sewn it all together. I had sewn this all together. I fixed it now, but I'd sewn it together the opposite way. So it was this huge panel in the front and then these small things on the side. And I just got so frustrated. I was like, no! But I've started to fix it. I'm in the process of sewing this seam, and it's coming out surprisingly well. You know, in the past I've made little blunders on measurements, and measurement is the most important thing for me, at least in my designs, making sure it fits, making sure you're getting the right amount of fabric, and I did this time. So you can see I created these bust seam lines, and then what I did for the edging was an invisible hem. You can see that. I did that all the way around. And I'm going to continue to do that for any other hems like this. But how I found this stitch, what I really like to do is go on YouTube and look at videos that show examples of couture hand stitching. This fabric in particular, I didn't want to put it through a machine because it's rather delicate. So I wanted to do it by hand. Be very precise with my stitches as best I can. I mean, it's definitely good practice, and it's pretty sturdy right now. Thus far, I've ironed to make them cleaner lines, and I'm gonna keep showing you guys the progress that I'm making, but thus far I have my little bust, yay. Just a little something, so we'll see how this goes. The part about patterns, that's a huge tip I want to suggest, is using clothing that you love the pattern of and taking that, making the patterns off of that. If you're not quite comfortable making your own patterns yet, that's a really great way to start, and then you could build off of that. You can get more creative with that. So that's kind of the lesson in all this, and now we're gonna see how it progresses. So until the next stage of this process, the next stage will probably be the band of it. So wish me luck. So today we will be looking at the progress that I've made on my bralette. So last time I showed you guys, I just had the bust part done, so just everything above the band line. And last night I was on the phone with my friend. I was like, let me just do a little bit more on this, and I added the band to it. Obviously this is just the front of it, but it is going to be so cute. I hope. I'm very excited. I haven't figured out what I want to do about the straps yet. But I'm thinking either a halter or some sort of crisscross to make it a very secure piece. So that's what I'm going to probably be playing around with today, and we'll see how that goes. One thing I would really love to know, if you guys comment below, is how you guys make patterns. Do you guys physically make your own patterns? If you do, share a picture. I'd love to see it, because I think it's so cool when people are able to make their own clothing from just a basic pattern, or from a pattern that they've loved from a piece of clothing that they own, or a pre-made pattern, you know, like those old vintage ones that you find. If you find vintage ones, those are so cool. Comment below. I'd love to hear about it. Also, if you have any tips on my process here, I'd love for you to share them, so please comment below. Also, follow me on Instagram at Brave Designs, at BRAYVE_designs, so you can see some of my sketches, my inspirations, a few videos here and there. Stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of this. Comment below if you'd like to see different types of videos, different types of fashion videos. I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts. So definitely share them with me, and let's get started. This is going to be like the back side of the bralette. But what I need to do is iron this out. I'm gonna use my handy dandy hair straightener. I don't straighten my hair very often. My hair is naturally straight, so this is more for touch-ups for me, but also to curl the ends of my hair. Love that too. But I'm just gonna plug this in. Plug that in, get it heated up. But while we're doing that, I'll show you the bralette that I actually pulled inspiration from. This is the bralette that I chose to use as a pattern for the bust. Super easy. I love these bralettes. Kind of like wearing a sports bra, but easier. A little bit cuter, for me at least. So that was my starting point. Okay. So as you can see, this is really wrinkly. I want to make this very, very crisp. So what I'm going to do is just come in here. But you want to be delicate with this kind of fabric, because it can easily burn and create marks. Smell of hot clothing. Woo! I'd also love to hear some of your stories on how you made your first piece. This isn't the first piece I've ever made. I started sewing when I was 16. The first piece I ever made was a dress. I went to a sewing school and they had us make our own pattern, which was probably the coolest thing ever. But one of the tips they gave was, you can make patterns based off of clothing that you love. and just keep building off of it. But I made this really funky, kind of 70s inspired dress. And I love it to this day. I can't get rid of it. I mean, I made it. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into it. So I will never get rid of it. But you know that feeling when you make something, you just want to keep going. You just want to keep making that. And I think that that's something that I really want to encourage you to do. And that's kind of what Brave Designs is all about, is being brave, starting, doing something. Don't put your dreams on hold because you don't think it'll be successful or you're afraid. I think that that's something that I've done for long enough, and it's time for me to start doing what I've always wanted to do. I was trying to find the courage to start this, and that's just it. You have to find your courage and listen to it. Don't be afraid to go for your dream. Don't be afraid to go for your dreams. Life is too short. Go for it. Seriously, go for it. There is no shame. got all of the straps pinned and ironed so that'll be nice and easy to sew. I'm gonna make them pretty, I'd like to make them a decent size, but it also depends on the amount of fabric that I have. So this is the size that I have. Super afraid, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew along here. I'm going to measure out and sew how long I want it to be. And then I'm going to turn it inside out to make it obviously the proper side of the fabric, so that that'll be a nice even stitching and invisible stitching. Pretty good. It's looking pretty good. I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to continue adding on to this because it's just gonna, the more you see a design come to fruition, it just gets more and more exciting, and then you want to wear it. So I'm really excited. This is just the front. Imagine when how excited I'm gonna be when it's the back. So when I finish the back of the design. So very excited to see how this comes about, and I'm gonna keep you guys in the loop on it all. So stay tuned. I am getting to the final touches of my bralette. It's gonna look a little messy right now, but I think I'm gonna have to do a little bit more alteration to this bottom part, but I am loving the way it's turned out. Loving it. So what I'm gonna do is flip it to the interior and start snipping out the excess pieces. So for example, this is crazy excess. Going to clean up around the edges. That's what you'll see. So that's when the golden scissors come in handy. Let's do this. Guys, I finished my bralette. I'm so excited. It came out so nice. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Wow. It's accomplishing like it's nighttime. I'd like to do this kind of video in the day, but I couldn't help it. I had to try it on, and I'm so excited. Wow. Just to show you guys. I'm so excited. Guys, this was one of the biggest projects I've done, one of the more intricate ones, and it came out really nicely. I love it. I love it. I can wear this under a white top and it'll look great. I'm so excited. Oh my god. Comment below and let me know like how you feel when you've accomplished this kind of project, because this is something that it's so creative. It's so rewarding. So comment below. I want to know how you feel. I'm so excited. Okay.